Welcome everyone to this event, Leadership Challenge and Achievement on Mount Kilimanjaro. My name is Dr. Leslie Hadfield. I am here on behalf of the Africana Studies program. I'm also part of the History Department here at BYU, and you'll learn more about me later, as I've also been involved with the Study Abroad program that's taken us to Kilimanjaro. And I'm really happy to be here today with the Kilimanjaro guides that we know. We have one here in person, one online, and another one who has pre-recorded some of his thoughts. So we'll talk more about that. Mount Kilimanjaro is in Tanzania, in East Africa, and there they speak the Swahili language. So I'm also going to say karibuni, which is welcome in Swahili. We are going to start, as we do at BYU, with a prayer, and so I've asked Mary Sorensen, an editing and publishing major with a sociology minor, to come say the prayer. And she also, you might see her in some of these photos, because she was with us on Kilimanjaro in May, and some of those other students are here too. We're excited to have them. So I will turn the time over to Mary, and then we will continue with the program. Okay, so here we are. This is an event that is sponsored by the Africana Studies program, the Geography Department, and the Sorensen Center for Moral and Ethical Leadership. And I want to explain a little bit why we are here, and then we are going to be able to hear from our esteemed guest speakers today. So since 2016, the BYU Kilimanjaro Adventure Tourism Travel Study Abroad program has been guided by 3 seasoned guides, mountain guides: Joshua Mwakalinga, Hudson Mwakalinga, and Enoch Mwakalinga. And yes, that all of them have the same last name because they are all related. And you can see here in this picture, they are all wearing the same coat. I thought that would be a good way to show all of them. With Joshua on the left, more of the left in the picture, and then Hudson, and then Enoch there. The program has also utilized Enoch Mwakalinga's tour company, Impatience Tours, so you'll see some of those photos as well. And we've requested the Mwakalinga guides for every group that we've taken to Tanzania because of their trusted character, leadership, and the genuine relationships that they build with people. The first professor to start this program, he's no longer at BYU, but his name is Jeff Durant. And he went to climb Kilimanjaro with his wife and son in 2016. That was his first, just trying things out to see if this would work. And that's when they met Joshua Mwakalinga. And you can see in the picture, I'm not sure if oh, there we go. Okay, right there is Joshua in the blue shirt sitting next to Marie. And so that's how we got in touch with Joshua. And it was after that, when the next group went, that he requested Joshua again, and that's when Enoch and Hudson were brought in as well. We wanted to invite, like I said, the 3 of them to visit BYU to share their personal histories with mountain crew work and their insights on leadership because of our relationship with them, and their skills, both in guiding and knowing the mountain, but also their skills working with people from different backgrounds. And we felt that the Africana Studies program and Geography Department felt that working with the Sorensen Center for Moral and Ethical Leadership made a lot of sense. It was a great fit because of the leadership that they've shown. So we're really grateful for the Sorensen Center to helping us make this possible. And there are a lot of other things that we've been doing with Enoch on campus. Unfortunately, because of health reasons, Joshua couldn't be with us, and also because the embassy wasn't favorable with Hudson. We couldn't get Hudson here in person, but we are so glad that we have the technology to bring him in. So he's there on the screen, and he can see all of you as well, so we're excited to hear from him as well. When I heard that Joshua, when I first went in 2018, when I heard that Joshua, this is just another picture, again, of us there. Okay, let me continue with the story. When I heard that Joshua had stopped counting how many times he had reached the top after he had made it to the top 300 times, I thought, there is a history here. and I need to capture it. So even if I wasn't doing anything on the research that I ended up doing yet, I grabbed my voice recorder. This was just before we went on the mountain, and I ended up interviewing all three of them, Joshua, Enoch, and Hudson, during our downtime on the mountain. And so they really contributed to my understanding and what I ended up doing with this research. I'm working with two other Tanzanian scholars we're working on a book on the history of porters and guides on Kilimanjaro. And I later learned that Joshua played a significant role in the expansion of the Tanzanians who work on the mountain, coming from different regions. And when we hear a little recorded clip from him, you'll hear that he talks about the challenges. He is not from right there in the foothills of the mountain, but because of his persistence, he opened that up for other people to work on the mountain. I went to the mountain focused on the mountain's physical environment and reaching the top. I thought this was going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I learned from all of the Mwakalingas that it is just as much about the people and the relationships on the mountain than the trail. And I'm going to leave these photos up so you can see them. These are some of my favorite photos of the three of them, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. This is how we're going to run this round. It's supposed to be a round table discussion. I have sent them questions ahead of time, and we will also start with them introducing themselves. So we'll start with the recording from Joshua, and then we will move to Enoch, who's here in person, and then we will move to Hudson. So we'll kind of go in that order as we go through the questions. But like I said, first we'll have a chance to hear from them. They will tell us a little bit about how they got involved in the guiding, and then we will move to the questions from there. So let me start with the recording from Joshua, and this should work.
Hello everybody, I am Joshua Enoch Makalinga. I come from Mbeya region, which is in southwestern Tanzania, bordering Malawi. By profession, I am a guide, guiding tourists who climb the highest mountain in Africa, Kilimanjaro, and also those who climb Mount Meru, which is in Arusha. So in geography, we were taught about the Mount Kilimanjaro, which is not visible in Mbeya. I never expected to climb. On my arrival to Kilimanjaro region, I saw the mountain with my naked eyes, and I wanted to climb it as a local tourist. But I had no money, so the easiest way was to climb as a porter. But I had a problem climbing as a porter, because all porters were supposed to be Marangu native. Luckily enough, I had a friend working with Kinapa, Kilimanjaro National Park, and a guide of which all of them helped me to climb the mountain. It was a very tough job, carrying very heavy luggage, because by the time they were not weighed, but I enjoyed it. I worked as a porter for 1 season only, and then I took studies about mountain guiding. My first job as a mountain guide, I mounted some problems because all my porters were from Himo, which was against their regulations. But later they allowed them to go on. To me, this was a quiet victory because from that day on, porters from different places were allowed to climb.
Okay, Enoch, we'll now hear from you. Just, to introduce yourself. And I think you have a mic on you. Yeah, okay, so we might need to mute this mic.
Good morning. It is a great pleasure and honor to be here today. A memorable date, 26, 2024. My name is Enoch Makalinga from Tanzania, eastern part of Africa, the home to a freestanding mountain in the world, and is the roof of Africa. Thank you for you all guys to give me a warm welcome. You're more than a friend. You're my brother and sister. Sister came here on 22 To me, it is a pleasure, and I feel like it's a blessing. I never have even a dream to be like one day to be here in USA, but I thank God today I stand in front of you. It's something big in my life. I really appreciate for you all guys for everything you have handled for us since I'm here. And as Leslie say, when you say thank you, we say asante sana in the Swahili language. Let me say asante sana.
Hudson, go ahead.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. My name is Hudson Joshua Mwakalinga from Tanzania, East Africa. I'm proudly a Kilimanjaro mountain guide. At first, I started as a porter for many years, and then I became a cook for a few years. To me, this was just a path to becoming a mountain guide. Back then, to becoming a guide depended on experience, knowledge, and strengths. So working as a porter and a cook was the best way to get experience, and I trained to become a guide on 2012. I have climbed Mount Kilimanjaro 100 of times and helped countless number of people from all over the world to accomplish their dreams and successful to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I enjoyed the challenge that comes with my job. I enjoy pushing myself to see the people pushing themselves further than they could think they could be or they could do. Kilimanjaro is very hard. Climbing it many times does not make it any easier, but it's just becoming more stronger. Despite the long walk in the dark and the cold frozen tours, we were always rewarded by the beautiful sunshine or sunrise, the great feeling, joy, achievement on the peak. This is the reminder that despite the hardship that we go through the life, there's always the reason to stay positive. My job has enabled me to meet people from all over the world that make a great friends like the ones I'm speaking right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Hudson. Okay, so that you have an idea of the kind of work that they do, the next question that we're going to have them each speak on is, what are the duties of a guide? And some of you may know that Kilimanjaro, one of the challenges is acclimatization, and so most people go to climb or hike on the mountain for anywhere from 5 to 7 days. You can also go 8 or 9 day routes. And that gives you time to acclimatize. So it's a long trek, and there's quite a bit of elevation gain. Even just once you get to the base camp to make the summit ascent, you are about almost 15,000 feet, and then you will gain 4,000 feet on the summit night. So that's just a little bit to give you an idea of what that looks like. And for each tourist that comes, you have to be guided by a certified guide and company, and there are about 3 porters per tourist to come and help and carry all of the gear and all of the food that you need for that time. So let's hear them talk about the duties that they have as a guide. So again, we'll start with Joshua, and then we'll go to Enoch, and then Hudson.
A guide is supposed to lead, show way, and protect tourists from any dangers. He is also supposed to brief the tourists about the mountain and also make sure that the tourists are happy and enjoying the climb. He is also supposed to lead the whole convoy, the porters included, to make sure are well health-wise. In case anyone fell sick on the way, the guide is supposed to make sure that the sick has someone who will take him back for treatment. To do well to the tourists is one of the greatest responsibility of a guide.
Okay, Enoch.
Okay, thank you once again, guys. Uh, Let me take you back to where it all began. On the slope of Kilimanjaro, where I worked as a humble porter each day, I would carry heavy bags up to the mountain, walking alongside of climbers from all over the world, watching as they fulfilled their dream of reaching the summit. But for me, every step was driven by a different dream, one that seemed far off, but one held onto tightly. Envision of a future where he wasn't just supporting this exhibition, but leading them. I dreamed of one day building my own adventure company, on that would allow me to share the beauty of my country while making a meaningful impact on the lives of the people I hold close to my heart. I, I walked those rugged trails. The stunning beauty of Tanzania surrounded me. The vast plains, towering mountains, and the incredible wildlife filled me with a deep sense of pride and awe. I realized that Tanzania has so much more to offer than just a climb. It had a story, culture, and breathtaking experience that could change the way people saw the world. I wanted to be the one to show them. But this was just about creating an adventure company. It was about giving back to the communities that raised me, that supported me, and that I knew could benefit from the opportunities that tourism could bring. In 1917, that dream became a reality when I found Impact Tours. When I say Impact Tours, the name Impact Tours, it comes from the flower which is found only Mount Kilimanjaro. It's one of the unique flower we just call Impatience Kilimanjaro. So that is the name of my company come from, Impatience Tours. It wasn't an easy journey, but it was one filled by passion and desire to create something bigger than myself. I didn't just want to organize trek. I wanted to give people an experience that would touch their soul and change their perspective. My mission was to provide life-changing adventure, not just for the travelers, but for the local communities who are so often overlooking in the tourism industry. I started by focusing on a charitable trekking where a portion of each trip proceeds went back into the community, whether it was supporting school, healthcare, or local business. This wasn't just a business for me, it was to uplift the people I love and the land I chose. As Impact Tours grew, so did my vision. I began to expand our offering, moving beyond mountain treks to including safari, beach holidays, and massive cultural experience. I wanted to create a company that didn't just cater to tourists but to travelers, people who wanted to see, feel, and understand the soul of Tanzania. We became known for our personalized service, tailoring each trip to the desire and dreams of our guests. But more than that, we became known for our commitment to sustainability and responsible tourism. Every decision we made was rooted into the belief that we could offer an unforgettable experience without compromising the environment or the well-being of local communities. Today, when I look back at how far we overcome, I feel immense pride that also deep gratitude. My journey has been one perseverance, hard work, and faith. There were times the challenges seemed surmountable when the dream felt too distant to ever been really, but I never lost sight of it. I believed and I kept moving forward step by step, just like I did on Mount Kilimanjaro. I share this story because I want you to know that dreams are worth pursuit, no matter how distant they may seem, and that through adventure we can not only to discover new parts of the world but new parts of ourselves. Every summit reached, every safari taken, every beach explored is an opportunity to cross for connection and for change. This is my journey, and I hope it is inspire you to embark on your own. So when I come back for the question, What is the duty of the guide? My answer is going like that. A guide on Mount Kilimanjaro has several crucial responsibilities to ensure the safety, well-being, and success of the climbers. The duty including safety management. A guide constantly monitors the health and safety on the climbers. This includes checking for symptoms of altitude sickness, managing pace, and making decisions about whether to continue or descending. There are sometimes people who come into climb Mount Kilimanjaro, they are facing the challenge because that is adventure. We usually telling the people who come into Kilimanjaro, before starting to climb Kilimanjaro, we ask them, do you know where we're going? And they always they say, yes, we know. And we always telling them, the place you're from and the place we're going is a much big difference. So we usually on Mount Kilimanjaro, sometimes we're facing the challenge. And that challenge because it is adventure. It is, when you understand this is adventure, anything comes for you, you may face it. On adventure, sometimes people are crying, some people are feeling to laugh, but it is adventure. And on your company, we like to see people crying because to make it memorable. So, and also motivation and support. Climbing Kilimanjaro is physical and mentally demanding. Guides provide encouragement, keep morale high, and support climbers when they struggle, ensuring they remain motivated to reach the summit. If you have been in Kilimanjaro, you can be my witness what I'm saying. Especially on the day going to the summit, people really very get tired. But as a guide, we keep singing for you. This is for you to give the motivation. We are not the robot, but we always believe the steering never die before the move ends. So we're trying to show how much we are okay, but sometimes we are really get tired. So that's why we're trying to sing for you, to give you motivation. I do remember the other day I had a group, very big group. On the day going summit, it was very strong winds, and very cold. People get tired, but me and the son will be just singing and talking. And the one client from that group, he asked, "You guys are you human?" And our answer we say yes, but we have to show you Kilimanjaro it is okay, and you can go to the summit. That is the motivation and the support. And the guide also have to team coordinator. A guide must manage the groups dynamically, ensuring that everyone stay together, communicate effectively, and cooperative. They also coordinate with other staff members such as the porters, cooks, and ensure smooth operation. Guide is the one who control everything at the camp. It's not only the client who climbing with them, but also all of the team. You have to make sure the porter is they're sleeping well. You have to make sure the porter is eating well. You have to make sure the porter is okay. So the guide on Mount Kilimanjaro is a leader. He's the one who control everything, because if anything bad gonna be happen, the one with responsibility is the guide. So the guide is the one who team coordinator. Emergency response. In the case of emergency, guides are trained to administer first aid, make quick decision, and take a priority action, such as arranging for evacuation if necessary. Before being a guide, you must go for taking the course to be a guide. On that course, there is a subject we call first aid, because you can't lead people without knowing the first aid. So most of all, guides must know the first aid. That is team responsibility. So you may know what is the client need right now, either to go or to come back. But sometimes we're getting some challenge, because the people who come in Kilimanjaro, some of them they are prepared for some while, for some years, even 10 years or 5 years. So when you're advising them like you have to go down, they say no, because I've been prepared this for maybe for 10 years. So as you get that time, we're getting very hard time to which language you can use to convince someone who is sick, who is unconscious, to go down. So as a guide, we know this, which language you can use for a client, which good point to talk with a client, either to advise him to go up or coming down, or is not okay. Education. Guide often shares their knowledge about the mountain, its history, flora, fauna, and the culture on the region, reaching the climber's experience. Mount Kilimanjaro has different zones, has 5 different zones. We have the forest zone, we have the moorland zone, we have the desert, alpine desert, and we have the Arctic zone, which is on the top of Kilimanjaro. So the guide of Kilimanjaro must have this the knowledge how to sail your mountain where you have the climbers. So you have to tell the climbers like this, now we are in this zone, and tomorrow you're going to be in another zone, and after tomorrow you're going to be another zone. So the guide must know what found in Mount Kilimanjaro, what you have to see when you're coming to Mount Kilimanjaro. Thank you.
All right, Hudson, what would you like to add to that?
I have not much to add on that, but what I can say is the duties of the guide, it is to lead people, to share experience, and give the best advice and the safety tips while we are climbing. We are always the first and only help to an emergency that happens on the mountain as well. We hike in front of the line to set the pace of the people, because most of the people that they come to Kilimanjaro, they can never know how which speed they can use to give the chance their body to acclimatize. That means you have to walk slower, not sitting for so many times. Walking slow is give you a chance to your body to acclimatize, because you stay on the same attitude for a little bit longer. So as a guide, we have the only responsibility of that. But most of the things is Enoch is already shared about that, and also Joshua is already said about that. But for now, I think that is enough for me.
Right, wonderful, thank you. So you've heard all that they have to do and all of the leading that they do. And so the next question that I asked them was, what have you learned are the characteristics or qualities of a good leader? So we'll hear from Joshua first.
Some of the qualities of a good leader are to be ready to help others, give good advice to others, and also be responsible to others. He is supposed to be a good listener and not a good talker. Guides and porters are not employees. They only get their living by depending on the trips to the mountain and also on small-scale farming and some in small business. They can be helped to go through challenges by promoting their ways of living. I'm very grateful to Professor Jeff from BYU, who introduced me to Dr. Lucille Harfield, then Perry and Ryan, also from BYU. Personally, I am very grateful to all of you for the good you have been doing to me. May God bless you all.
That's about the end of what the recording he sent. And one thing I want to point out, in case it didn't come through clearly, he said that a good leader is focused on helping other people and giving good advice, and it should be a good listener, not a good talker. I don't know if that came through so clearly, but definitely things that I've seen from Joshua's leadership. Okay, so actually maybe at this point, let's hear from Hudson first this time, and then we'll hear from Enoch. So what have you learned are the good qualities of a good leader?
Okay, what I learned about the quality of a good leader is a good leader should be patient enough to tolerate and understand that everyone is different. People have the different strengths and weaknesses. As the guide, we are capable of hiking for an hour, or we are capable of hiking where our guests can use 3 hours, but we can hike for 1 hour. But we always need to be patient, because it is not a competition. We all help each other to accomplish a goal. A good leader must be passionate. A good leader must be passionate whatever he does, because this spread to the group, keeping morale high and encourages people to accomplish the goal. Imagine climbing with a guide that he does not show any interest of what he's doing, what he's hiking. That means all the morality of the group should go down. A good leader also should be strong. Leading people needs to be strong physically and mentally. This because people look to their leaders to see if they're strengths or not. But if you show that you're very weakness, or you are not very strong, that means you will pass it to the other group to the member of the group and they won't be that strong. So a good leader must be very strong to make sure that all people from the group, they can follow his lead.
Thank you. Enoch.
Okay. A good leader is like a good father in his family. A good leader must be flexible and able to adapt to the changing condition, whether it is weather, group dynamics, or health issues. This quality ensures that they can respond effectively to analysis challenges. And also, you must have the communication, as I said before. You must know how to understand your clients. To me, also, I have this, like, within a few years climbing Mount Kilimanjaro taught me a lot. And some of them, this is three major reasons. The one is the wisdom, another thing is the perceiving, and the third one is not take things in granted. So to be a good leader, you have to understand and to know what your client from, and to know the culture, that you have the knowledge and the skills. Because I can give example, when you from in like Utah, USA, it's a much big difference than people from Asia. So when you have these big different groups, you must know how you're going to lead of them. You can't lead like the people from Asia. The same thing you're going to lead the knowledge as the people from Utah. That's a very big difference. So the first one, you have to understand what client you have at that time. So that is.
Thank you. So as you've heard, there can be some difficult conditions on Kilimanjaro, especially the summit night. You're walking very slowly for 6 or more hours, and it's cold, and you're hungry, and it's dark. And also there are other times during the trek where you might be feeling sick because of the altitude sickness that comes. And so there are a lot of challenges that those who go to hike as tourists face. And there are also challenges behind the scenes that maybe the tourists don't see, where the guide is trying to manage the team and make sure everything goes smoothly. So the next question I have for Hudson and Enoch is, what have you learned about helping people achieve or succeed through challenges? So I think we'll start with Enoch this time and then go to Hudson.
Thank you so much. How can you help people achieve or succeed through their challenges? Helping people achieve or succeed through their challenges, especially in difficult environments like Kilimanjaro, involves several key strategies. Setting clear goals, help individuals understanding the goal and break it down into manageable steps. This makes the challenge less overwhelming and gives a sense of progressive. Providing support and encouragement, regularly guide, encourage, and support people, acknowledging their effort and progress, positive, building confidence and motivation. As we say motivation, I talk with so much, but on Kilimanjaro, the only way you can make your client to go to the summit is all about motivation. How you motivate them. Because you're the one who's strong is yourself. I'm the second one to be strong. So the way I give you motivation, it can go the way for you to go to the summit. So the motivation of Mount Kilimanjaro, it really work. Because when you tell someone like, you can do this, automatically can do this. Sometimes you can see like he's very tired, maybe he's very far. He can ask you how far, you get just around the corner. But it is still far. That is another way to give them motivation. Motivation it really needs in Mount Kilimanjaro. Because we can't carry on our back. So we have to give them motivation. But sometimes we're giving support by holding your hands and keep moving. But when you hold your hands, keep moving to the top, we sing the song. We sing the song, we go over there. So we say, Jambo, Kilimanjaro hakuna matata. That means Kilimanjaro, no worries. So we sing in the Swahili, but music is about the tone. You can understand what we mean. So we sing like Kilimanjaro, Hakuna Matata. Sometimes we're trying to sing even the reggae like Do Wole, everything gonna be right. We are not the good singer, but we're trying to show you how much we just giving you support. Because we believing, for you going to the summit, you're gonna be very happy, but for us, we must be very happy more than you. Why? Because our goal is to make all kinds comes for us to go to the to the summit. So that is the way we helping people to achieve the challenges. We know the adventure there are a lot of challenges. I think there are some people coming from Everest coming to Africa, but sometimes they're asking us what you can do. We know that is time for them to give us the motivation. So the good thing on Kilimanjaro, another all things people can say, motivation is the key to people to achieve of Mount Kilimanjaro. That why you have this very special song on Mount Kilimanjaro, very common song. The one who came on Kilimanjaro can understand what I'm talking. The song which you have on Mount Kilimanjaro.
Okay, Hudson.
Yeah, we can help people to develop through the challenge by developing a positive mentality. Just like on Mount Kilimanjaro, you need to stay positive to success. If you not stay positive, it's not that easy to success. So we always say that when we start hiking from day one, we always tell people that forget everything that you read about the Kilimanjaro. You are there on Kilimanjaro, you just be there by your own, and you start to write your new chapter. Because everything that you read on Kilimanjaro, it is someone write them by their own experience. While you are there, you just be there to write your own experience. So you have to forget everything and you start a new page by your own. So what you can do that, while you're hiking on day one, you just only think about the day one. You don't need to think about the day two or day three. Because how you can get to the summit if you not reach, let's say you are in Lemosho, if you not reach on Shirawan camp. So you'll never succeed, you never get the top by skipping the other camp. So you have to learn the day after day. The other thing is not giving up. You don't have to give up. Not giving up is the key to success. Giving up means that you never overcome the challenge or you never learn from it. So it's almost the same as the other thing is you should learn from your challenge. Every challenge comes with a lesson. We learn from those lessons from a framework and for the future challenges. And the other thing that you're just using the challenge as inspiration. If you can help people to achieve the success through their challenge by teaching them how they can use their challenge as inspiration. It is because, let's say, from on the summit night, you may feel freezing from your fingers, from your toes, but we'll keep singing, we'll keep walking, we'll keep showing that you have a very happy faces. It is not just because we don't feel freezing. No. We're still freezing as well. But because we need to show you that even if that we feel freezing, but we can keep hiking, we can keep proceeding, we can keep walking on make your dream comes true. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Hudson. That reminded me of something Hudson said to one of our groups, that let your mind carry your body, as he was talking about being strong mentally, right? That's a very important part of this. We would love to open it up for questions from the audience at this point. We have a roving mic, and so if you have a question, wait for the microphone to come to you. And we would like you to, because we are recording this, if you could say your name and where you're from and what you're studying so that Hudson and Enoch can get to know you, that would be great. And then state your question briefly, and then we will give them a chance to answer the question. We'll go one question at a time. So if you have a question, you can raise your hand first, and then we'll bring the mic to you. Okay, we have one up here. And again, remember to say your name, where you're from, what you're studying.
Okay, so I'm Maddie Hutchings. I'm from Northern California, so the western side of the U.S., and I'm currently studying information systems, so that's technology with a tie in business. And thank you again for providing this opportunity. This is so cool to learn about behind the scenes what it takes to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. So you have all been talking a lot about positivity and being positive and helping others be positive. So my question is, for example, as leaders, sometimes we have those bad days, we aren't positive, we really aren't doing well. What tips do you have to help yourself be positive and still at the same time provide that positivity for others? Hopefully that question makes sense.
Thank you. Hudson, why don't you start answering that question? I will invite Enoch to come up here so that you're ready to answer the question when Hudson is finished.
Okay, most of the time, I can talk about myself. Most of the time, if I got something that is bothering me, so I try to not put that into my work. Even if I have the family problems, they will stay at home. When I go to work, I just go just me and the Kilimanjaro. As well, if I got something that is very bothering me, even maybe it's happening on the mountain, I just listen to some music, talk to people. Most of the time when we play cards, we stay in the kitchen, talk to each other, and then I'll just be fine. So it is not easy for me to show you that I'm not that good. I will stay positive always, because you have to learn from me that you have to stay positive in order to conquer the mountain.
Yeah, the same. I'm not too far with Hudson. For me, usually when I got to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, I left everything behind of me. On that time, what I focus is all about that trip I have that time. Because I usually say I never ever understand Mount Kilimanjaro. So because on that reason, it makes me sometimes even to be very careful, even for our guests, I have that time. Because I know when I gonna have another put my feeling in my head, it's gonna take me away on the field. So usually I stick on what I'm going to do because I believe is what makes me to be in town, is a part of my life, it's my job. So everything on that time is all about my clients. So all about my clients, the mindset, everything is just put for my clients. So that's why it gives me the time when anything occur which is not good, it's easy to understand and to sort it.
I want to ask a follow-up question. I was asking this past year when we were on the trail, I asked Hudson this question, I don't think I asked you, but I was asking the other guides, when on the mountain things get hard, when your hands are freezing, your feet are freezing, you're hungry and tired, what helps you keep going on that?
Okay, as I said before, what's keeping me keep going? We know there's sometimes also we feel the same as you guys are feeling, but we have to stay positive. What Addison is saying. So why? Because we understand this is adventure. When you know this is adventure, you may battle anything over there. So the time I feel too cold, the time I feel even angry, I have to understand I'm here for adventure. So what I have to do that time is to see what I can do on the particular time. So if I have anything to eat, I can do that. If I feel very cold, I know that the time the sunlight will be up and I feel warm. So it will be like giving me the hope, like okay, there's a time it will be sun and I'll be feeling warm. So it's all about the mindset. That what we're saying, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro is not going to the gym. It's about the mindset, the how you prepare your mindset. I can tell you, even Michael Tyson can fail Mount Kilimanjaro, but you can do that one if you prepare your mindset. So whatever it is for me, I prepare my mindset. So I feel hungry, I feel too cold, but I know this is adventure and this is Kilimanjaro. It is not my home. I come for Kilimanjaro.
Okay. Hudson?
What keep me going while I get freezing and very cold? It's just like you are the father of the family, and you just passing through the hard times. Sometimes you don't let your kids to know that you are in the bad situations, but you will do your best. You will do much as you can to make sure that everything goes well. Yes, we get freezing. We got freezing on the toes, on the fingers. But the time that I am freezing and you need your bottle of water from your bag and you cannot take it, I'm sure I can take it. It is not because I'm very, very strong, I don't feel cold, but I know that at that time, I am the leader. I am the father of the house. So I have to make sure that everyone that's behind me stays safe. So that keeps me going.
Thank you. We know that in a few minutes, some people may need to leave to get to class, so if some people need to leave, that's fine. Do we have another question? If you have a question, raise your hand. Okay, up here, Dr. Eastley. And I'm actually going to change what I'm sharing here.
So I have a wish and a question. I would really love to hear you sing the song that you referred to. I would love to feel that motivation. So if you'd possibly be willing to pretend that we're all hiking behind you in the dark and we're almost at the summit, but we're struggling. And my other question is about the struggle. I'm sure that with all the great leadership that you provide, there are still those who don't reach the summit. How do you negotiate that situation, and what do you say to someone who has gotten to the end of their hike?
Hudson, would you like to start on this one?
Yeah, it's maybe you can start from singing, or we start by talking.
It's up to you guys. Maybe we should do the singing at the end. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Sometimes you can decide for the person to go back because we will talk to them. We have to talk to them to make sure that you're okay. So the way and also we said we are not a doctor on the mountains, but we have a good experience. Sometimes you may feel sick. You just hide to us that you are okay. But if you look at you, if you see the way you're walking, if you see the way you're speaking, we know that you're not in good condition. So sometimes you have to talk with you politely to advise you that the way you're going, you're not going to make it, so you have to go back because of your health issues and other stuff. But sometimes we can force you to go down if you don't want to go down. I had one case just a couple of years ago. We were with Enoch, then we were supposed to separate the group. I remained behind with one lady from Asia. She has asthma, but she didn't speak it out. And the way that we keep going, she's keeping losing control. She's becoming weak. So I told her that she has to go back. And she said, no, I have to keep going. I give her the chance to keep trying. And then after 2 minutes, she could not walk. And I said, no. So this is it. You have to go down. And she said, no. But what I have to do? At that moment, I was only looking to saving her life, not her dream to get to the top, because her body could not do it anymore, even if her mind was strong. So I forced her to go down. She's crying. I forced her to go down. We took her to base camp. She has a sip of oxygen. Then I took her straight to Moshi Town, to the hospital. She had the treatment there. And then she came to apologize to me later, because at that point she realized that she was on the bad condition. But while she's on the mountain, she could not think about that. She only think about going to the top. So sometimes we'll talk to you, we'll advise you to go down, but sometimes we'll force you to go down in order to make sure that you're going up there safe and come back safe.
Yeah, and something to add is, as a guide, you have to make sure your client is your family. The first point, when you're meeting your client, make them your family. When you make them your family, you give them the chance, the room to be open for you. So sometimes you can be sick on Mount Kilimanjaro, so we know which language you can use for you coming down. So if I didn't make this from beginning to be my family, it would be too hard for you to advise going down. So the first point is how the language you're going to use when someone is sick to advise him or her going down. So that is the language, because as we guide, we know the symptoms about Mount Kilimanjaro. So when I can see your face, I can recognize like you may go up, you may go down. So, but sometimes it's too challenging when you advise someone going down. Either he got that prepared for some years back, maybe 10 or whatever. So when you're telling like you have to go down, you are not make it, it's too hard that time. So you just make that client is your family, a part of our family. So when you go to talk with them, it's very easy to them to understand you. So which language you're gonna use of them. So we have this song which is very common in Mount Kilimanjaro. It is Jambo. Jampo means hello, so it's a part of like encouragement song on Mount Kilimanjaro. Is anyone here know this song?
Maybe Leslie.
So we can sing me and that song. So Jambo,
Okay.
Jambo
Jambo
bwana,
bwana,
habari
habari
gani?
gani?
Nzuri
Nzuri
sana,
sana.
wageni
Mwakaribishwa
mwakaribishwa Kilimanjaro,
Kilimanjaro.
hakuna
Hakuna
matata.
matata.
The meaning of this song
Tembe
is
pole
hello.
pole.
So the meaning of this song is hello. How are you? You're most welcome Kilimanjaro. Hakuna matata means no problem.
Thank you. And you can imagine when you're barely walking and they're dancing, doing that on the side, in the snow. It can be encouraging. Okay, any other questions? We have, okay, here, yes.
My name is Connor, and I'm in the Experience Design and Management major. And my question for you guys is, as leaders in this space, like, how, I guess, what kind of tips and tricks do you have for us to like prepare our mindsets to accomplish difficult feats as this and other things in our lives?
Okay, so usually before we climb Mount Kilimanjaro, we have this briefing session. On the briefing session, we always talking all in terms of about Kilimanjaro and all the things which you're going to do while on Mount Kilimanjaro. So the first point before climbing Kilimanjaro, we do the briefing and we give you the image what you're going to do while you're climbing. So that is good for you to prepare your mindset like I'm going on Mount Kilimanjaro and what you're gonna do and what you're gonna do. So we tell you this is Kilimanjaro, you're gonna do this. It's better to wear this. It's better to dress like this and this and this and this. So someone who is very easy to understand, it's very easy to accomplish Mount Kilimanjaro. If you are difficult to understand, that's why we say when you climb Mount Kilimanjaro, you have to respect it. No matter how many mountains you have done, but when it comes to Kilimanjaro, just salute it. Believe that every mountain in the world has different experience. So when you're coming off it, understand what the guide's telling you, what the guide advising you, walking slowly, drinking a lot of water, take time, relax. That is the best way to do it, Mount Kilimanjaro.
Hudson?
What I can say it is, it's almost everything in the life. If you need to achieve anything in your life, you have to stay positive. Your mind is a powerful weapon that you can use to accomplish any mission that you have to do. If you say that in your mind, you are going to do it, and yes, you will do it. But if you doubt in yourself, your mind is thinking negative, yes, you didn't. So what you have to do is, in everything that you do, it is prepare your minds well that you are on it, you have to do it, and you will do it, and nothing will stop you for achieving what you think you can do.
Thank you. Other questions? Any other questions? Yes, here. Oh, and then here.
Hello, my name is Jackson Gilbert from Holiday, Utah, and I'm studying human development. And my question is since you've climbed Kilimanjaro many times now, you've stopped counting. What is the sense of accomplishment that you receive now, and has it changed at all over the course of accomplishing this feat many times?
Hudson, would you like to start with this question?
Yeah, it's maybe I can say it's nothing has changed, because in every trip that I go to Mount Kilimanjaro, it remains a new trip. You know, while you guys get to the top, you really enjoy it. You enjoy the sunrise. You be happy. You enjoy the glaciers of Mount Kilimanjaro. I have the same. It's just like I get these feelings in every trip that you do. In every trip that I'm going there, it's just like it's a new trip. It's just like I'll never be there. It is because I'll never get tired to going on Mountain Kilimanjaro. You know, sometimes people ask us, is maybe how many times you can do it per month, maybe. We say that it's okay. In the high season, we can do it 2 to 3 times a month. And most people, they think that maybe we are crazy, how hard it is and how many times you can do it in a month. But we keep doing it because we're loving it, and every trip for us, it is a new trip. Yeah.
To me, Kilimanjaro is like my second home. So every day when I climb Kilimanjaro, I feel like I'm going home. So to me, Kilimanjaro every day I see as a new one. So I never ever tired about Kilimanjaro. So I know because I do what I love to do. So climbing Kilimanjaro is something which I love. So Kilimanjaro is like okay to me. Like I never like because I used to climb it is okay. No, every day when I climb Kilimanjaro, I see it is a new one.
Okay, we have time for one more question here.
Hi, my name is Aiden Despain, and I'm a biology major here at BYU. And so I was thinking a lot about you guys mentioned the flora and fauna. That's what I think of most when I think of Africa. And so what are some of the coolest encounters that you've had with animals during your hikes?
Or mazingira, yeah,
Any?
in general. Wanyama au mazingira.
Okay, on Mount Kilimanjaro, we have animal, yes, but not the dangerous one. At previous, we have these big animals like elephant, giraffe, but nowadays they are really going very far because of the population of people. But we have this small animal we call the hyrax and the baboon. The monkeys, calabash monkeys, the blue monkeys, the very unique one. Like the blue monkey at the gate, usually they welcome you to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. So that we have. So we don't have the dangerous animal on Mount Kilimanjaro. Even snake, we don't have the snake because it's too cold of them. So Kilimanjaro is okay.
Hudson, do you want to add anything there?
No, I think he covered everything.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I just want to thank Enoch and Hudson and also Joshua for coming today. And I just want to say a few words to wrap up. So yeah, a few words of thank you. And to also, I hope that you have gained a sense for the power that these men have. I really wish we could have Joshua here. You can see in some of the photos, there are a few that I added in there. Joshua's often behind. As a lead guide, he's always making sure everything's going well. So there's a picture where he's behind a student. And that day when we were coming into the last camp, when we came down from the summit, I watched other people from other crews greet him as he came into the camp, and the respect that he gave, or that they gave him, was a testimony to me of what I had also seen. And there are so many experiences that are running through my mind, and one of the things that stands out to me is the humility, the gratitude, and the care that I've seen all of these men show for people that they are leading. And one of the things that Hudson said yesterday when we were talking was, for them, they put the money behind them and they put the people in front of them, and we definitely have experienced that. So I wanted to thank all of them for being such such wonderful human beings and wonderful leaders, and showing, we haven't talked about Jesus Christ, but I think for me, it's definitely running through all of this, that all of these guides that we've listened to today and the experiences that we've had on the mountain as BYU students and faculty have really taught us a lot about the humility and, again, the care that Christ shows us as individuals. So I want to thank all of them, and maybe we can do that with a round of applause.